Great, we'll go on the record in the County of Dane versus Megan Poles. That's 26 FO 602 appearances.
The county appears by Assistant District Attorney Thomas Valeria. The defendant, Megan C. Poles, appears in person in custody without counsel there.
Right, and Ms. Poles, the good news is they've decided not to charge you with any criminal charges. You've been charged with county disorderly conduct. That's more like a speeding ticket as far as severity. It's not going to keep you in custody. You're going to get released today no matter what, because I don't see anything else holding you. They will have an offer though, and we'll see what that is.
Awesome.
All right, so it'd be $214.50. It's not like bail, you don't have to pay it up front, but you get 60 days to pay or work out a payment plan if you needed more time. Did you want to accept that offer? Or do you want to contest the charges?
Yes, I can accept that, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll accept that as a no contest plea to the charge. Or do you pay the court costs plus the DV surcharge? And they're going to give you some info about making the payments and they'll process and release you yet today.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. $214.50.
All right, next up is Courtney Molnar.
We'll go on the record in the state of Wisconsin versus Courtney Molnar. That's 25 CF 2299, 25 CM 1904, and 26 CM 828. Then we have a bail bond hearing in just lost my place.
It's 25 CM 127.
Thanks. When I start calling the cases before you just spell the last one, the calendar shifts on me. Could we get the appearances?
The state appears by Assistant District Attorney Thomas Valeria.
Ms. Molnar appears in person with Attorney Sean O'Connell. And I just want to be clear, the last one you called is a bail hearing, the other three are all new IAs, right?
The violating harassment restraining order, 4 counts on May 10th, 2025 is a bail hearing.
Okay.
And the rest are new cases. So hopefully you have complaints for all three.
All right, so we have received a copy of all those new criminal complaints, waived their formal reading. Looks like the address on the complaints is correct. And she is eligible for representation through the public defender's office.
Right, I'll make findings of probable cause in the new cases and are not guilty, please. State's position on bail.
I'm going to start with 25 CF 2299. In that case, I'm asking for a $1,000 cash bond. The condition that the defendant not operate a motor vehicle, that should not use or possess any controlled substance or drug paraphernalia without a valid prescription. And then in 25 CM 1904, I'm requesting a $500 cash bond in that case, with the condition that the defendant not use or possess any controlled substance or drug paraphernalia without a valid prescription. And then in 26 CM 828, I'm requesting a $500 cash bond. I don't have any specific non-monetary conditions to recommend in that case. And then in 25 CM 1272, I'm asking that the signature bond in that case be turned into a $500 cash bond. Same non-monetary conditions to apply. I think bottom line, procedurally, what's been happening here is that after that signature bond was issued in the 25 CM 1272 case, there was failure to appear on the initial appearance set for, excuse me, let me rephrase that. So in 25 CM 1272, Ms. Molnar failed to appear for her initial appearance on 12/2025. While she appeared on June 23rd and received the signature bond, she then failed to appear on September 15, 2025. And that warrant was not issued against her until the arrest, at least in the 26 CM case. Throughout all these cases, it's alleged that Ms. Molnar exhibited various instances of obstructive or persistent conduct. She's alleged to have fled from law enforcement in the 25 CF case. And then, 26 CM 828 case, it's alleged that she lied about her name, drove away from the officer, went around the block, went through her back door, and physically resisted officers' attempts to take her into custody. So I think cash throughout all these cases is appropriate now.
Great, and the defense position?
If I could just have a brief moment.
Sure.
So we don't have any objection to the non-monetary conditions. I understand that. Given what the state's laid out, I'm sure the court's can order some cash. I would ask for lesser cash. Talking with Ms. Molnar, sounds like she, as described in one of the complaints I saw, she did have some medical conditions that were ongoing. When she did go into custody, she did spend some time at the hospital and gave birth at that time. It certainly doesn't justify her behavior, but I think it did influence probably some of her decision-making and wanting to not be in custody while pregnant. So I would just ask for lesser cash than what the state's asking for.
All right, well, there's no question cash is necessary to assure appearance. She missed the initial appearance, then missed the next court date, then is allegedly fleeing, eluding law enforcement, lying to law enforcement about who she is when contacted. All three cases kind of have obstruction or flight in them. I think the state's not too far off the mark. I'm willing to set $300 cash bail in each of the misdemeanors and 25 CM 1272. I'll order the prior non-monetary conditions. 25 CM 1904. I'll order that you not use or possess any controlled substances or drug paraphernalia without a valid prescription. In the felony case, I think the $1,000 is right on the mark. I'll set that. I'll order that you not operate a motor vehicle and that you not use or possess controlled substances or drug paraphernalia without a valid prescription. She would be entitled to a preliminary hearing in the next 10 days then.
Let's schedule that, please.
Okay, we are adjourned.
Right this way to one. Next up is Demetrius Shepherd. This is forfeiture. I'm aware this one.
You can-
Hearing by Zoom.
And we're ready for Mr. Shepherd if the deputy at the jail is ready. Great, we'll call the County of Dane versus Demetrius Shepherd. It's 26 FO 609 appearances.
The county appears by Assistant District Attorney Constelario, by apparent person, defendant Demetrius A. Shepherd appears via Zoom in custody without counsel.
All right, and Mr. Shepherd, the DA's office decided to not charge you with any criminal charges. They've charged you with a county ordinance possession of drug paraphernalia. That's non-criminal. It's more like a traffic ticket. It's the type of case that they're going to have an offer on, and we can hear what that is, okay?
Awesome.
All right, so if you wanted to accept that and enter a no contest or guilty plea, you just have to pay $114.50 in the next 60 days or work out a payment plan with the clerk's office. It's not like cash bail that you have to post. Regardless of whether you want to accept their offer, you're going to get released today. I don't see anything else holding you. Mr. Shepherd, did you want to accept their offer? Or do you want to contest the matter?
Yes, accept off.
Accept it? All right, I see a thumbs up. I'll judge you guilty of the charge. Based upon your no contest plea order, you pay court costs of $114.50. They're going to give you some info about making the payments and you'll get released yet today. We are adjourned.
Next up is Mohammed Y Mashwani. The next case will be for our past shooting interpreter.
All right, and Madam Interpreter, are you ready to go?
Yes, Your Honor.
And can you just state and spell your name for our court reporter's benefit?
Kibru Mundi, I am your Pashto interpreter, Your Honor.
Could you repeat the name of
Yeah.
the interpreter?
Sorry,
Didn't get,
Judge.
or the
Yes, of
court
course.
reporter didn't get it.
It's MOMMANDI, Momandi. First name KABRA.
All right, thank you. We will call the state of Wisconsin versus Mohammed Y Mashwani. And Ms. Momendi, if you could just interpret everything that's said afterwards.
ورورة دي تاسو نومي ويلي أو واي سي وس دي تاسو قضية واي درست ده؟ Sounds good, Judge.
Right, and that's case 26 CF 849.
دي تاسو دي كيس نمبر سيش باقي CF بيا نسالوخته مقصد تاسو دي كيس نمبر ويلي.
We have Dari Pashto interpreter Kabari Momendi.
زي تاسو ترجمانه ما.
And Ms. Momendi, I'll just give you the oath before we proceed any further.
وشن قسم وركي تشاتس يعني هر شيء سوى ريختيا ويوس.
Do you swear or affirm that you will truly, accurately, completely, and impartially interpret the proceedings?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and just a reminder for counsel, we're going to have to speak in really short sentences to allow the interpreter to interpret.
ولقيت ويلي سيديري وركي جملي هو سيوكولي سهر شيء تاسو تترجماسي.
State's appearance?
The state appears by Assistant District Attorney Thomas Valerio.
ده هم سارنوال ده سيزوني معرفي که.
Mr. Mashwani appears in person and with Attorney Sean O'Connell.
أو تاسو ويوزوري دلتا آزرياي أو وكيل دمستا درسرا. Thank you, Judge.
We have received a copy of the complaint. Waive its reading.
ده شكاية يار شيء سوي وعوي وكابي ما ولدلا.
I do not have information about eligibility for the Public Defender's Office.
دي مصر وي چون تا بفكركم دغه مفت وکیل ته درخواست نه کړی وای زه معلومات نه لرم چې یعنی تاسو درخواست کړی کنه.
Mr. Mashwani, are you still at Winnebago Street for an address?
Yes.
دي تاسو ادرس ویلې.
I believe the address is correct on the complaint.
وای درست ده ادرس دي درست ده.
I'll make a finding of probable cause and enter not guilty pleas to the misdemeanors.
وای زه وایم چې یعنی ګناه دې نه ده کړې یعنی بې ګناه یې ځکه دوی باید تابع ګناهکار ثابت کړي.
The deputies have given you the public defender information, so give them a call if you can't hire an attorney on your own.
وای ته که خپل شخصي وکیل نسې نیولی هغه نفر وای هغه پولیس وای تا ته د مفت وکیل سي ته پبلک ډیفندر وای دغه معلومات وای درکړي دي وای ته زنګ وروه چې تا هغه کې یعنی تا د تا نه دفاع وکړي بیا.
سمه ده بیا چې زه دلته ماس تلیفون نه و نو زه چې بیرون ته وځم زه به تلیفون وکړم.
Yes, Your Honor, I didn't have a phone with me here, so definitely when I leave the court, I will actually call the public defender's office.
And just a warning, Mr. Mashwani, you probably don't want to talk about the facts of the case here today, because that can be used against you later on.
چون ته تنها د وکیل سره دی باید دغه د حقیقت د موضوع سره باید له وکیل سره د تنها وغږیږي وایي زه مقصد تا ته یعنی دومره وایم چې اوس د په کیس کې مه غږیږه بیا د وکیل سره دی وایي ځکه هر شی چې ته ووایې هغه وایي موږ کولی شو چې تا په ضد باندې بیا استفاده کړو.
And if you need to speak privately with your attorney here today, we can set something up.
که نن هم وکیل خپل وکیل د له تا سره غږیږي یعنی موږ کولی شو چې نن هم هغه کړو ولې اول د له وکیل سره وایي بیا وغږیږه.
What's the state's position on bail?
بیل خو دغه هغه ته وایي چې پیسې باید ورکول شي چې تاسې له زندان نه ووځئ هغوی ته وایي څه رقم ده؟
I'm recommending a $5,000 cash bail in this case.
هغه ویل چې 5,000 روپۍ باید کېښودل شي چې ته ووځې.
I'm asking that the defendant have no contact with Awasha L.
او پلوشه چې هر څوک ده د هغه نوم یې ویلې چې ته د هغه سره اجازه نه لرې چې په تماس کې واوسې.
For the record, their first name is spelled PALWASHA.
هماغه نوم یې درته سپیل کړ چې PALWASHA ویلې همدغه پلوشه ده.
I would also ask that the defendant have no contact with any of Awasha L's family.
د هغه د فامیل سره هم وایي اوس تر اوسه محکمه تا ته اجازه در نه کړي یعنې اوس خو یې ویلي دي چې اجازه یې نه ده درکړې چې د هغوی سره په تماس کې شې.
So by reading the criminal complaint, there appears to be a long series of events mentioned in that complaint.
وایي دغه هغې یعنې د شکایت څه وایي د دوی هغوی مثلا ویلي دي چې تاسو زیات د کار شوی دی یعنې همدغه هر شی چې ده هر شکایت یې چې کړی ده ویلي دي چې یعنې په گذشته کې هم د کارونه شوي دي.
But what I think is fairly outlined in the facts in the criminal complaint is that Mr. Mashwani was involved in the intimidation of the alleged victim in this case.
یعنې تاسو هغه همیشه تهدیدوي همدغه ښځه دی یا هر څوک چې دغه پلوشه چې هر څوک ده یعنې تهدیدي ډارې په دغه حساب باندې هغې شکایت کړې ده.
It's my understanding that it went so far that Mr. Mashwani allegedly, well, apparently followed the victim in this case to Illinois to bring her back to Madison.
عین د ایلینوی تر ښاره پورې تا د هغه تعقیب کړې ده او بیرته د یعنې دوی ته د راوستلې ده.
I believe it's mentioned in the criminal complaint that when law enforcement made contact with the victim,
دوی ویلي دي چې وخت کې چې پولیس له د پلوشې سره غږېدلی ده بیا
the victim indicated to law enforcement that Mr. Mashwani threatened her the whole way back to the city of Madison.
او هغې ویلي چې زه په تمامې لارې کې زه تهدیدولم چې تر هغو دغه مادسن ښار ته راورسېدو.
And it's alleged that Mr. Mashwani told the victim in this case that she needed to lie to police in order to get the co-defendant in this case out of jail.
بیا فکر کوم هغې ته ویل شوي اوس ته باید دروغ ووایې چې یعنې د بیرته له زندان نه راووځي.
Furthermore, the victim indicated that Mr. Mashwani threatened her with violence if she did not recant.
او ویلي دي پولیس ته شکایت کړی دی چې که ده راته ویلې چې که ته د خبر چې زه درته کومه که دغه ونه کړې یعنې زه بیا یعنې هغه در سره کومه.
Mr. Mashwani has no criminal history that I'm aware of.
وایي ته هېڅ په گذشته کې ته کوم جرم دې نه ده کړی.
So that obviously means he's never been convicted, as far as I'm aware of any prior ACRI eligible offenses.
یعنې گذشته کې تا کوم کار چې دې نه ده کړی یعنې کوم جرم دې نه ده کړی.
These are still ACRI eligible offenses in this case.
ولې په دې مسئله کې مثلا د شکایتونه سوي دي د لږ زره هغه دي جدي دي په یو حساب.
It's alleged that Mr. Mashwani took specific lengths in order to dissuade the victim in this case from talking with law enforcement.
چون تاسو هغې ته ویلي دي چې یعنې پولیس ته څه ووایه یا مثلا داسې کوشش دې کړی دی چې هغې ته ووایه چې دوی ته هغه وکړي د هغه خاطر نه دغه هم یو جرم ده خپله.
I believe that that Mr. Mashwani and the victim's relationship is close enough where guaranteeing the form of cash bail is warranted.
وای چون تاسو مناسباتم یعنی ډیر هغه یعنی تاو د خانم هرڅوک سي ده دغه خاطر نه دوی وایي یعنی د تا هغه باید هغه کاش یعنی سیارت پیسې باید ورکول سي نقدي پیسې تا تقدي.
And the defense position on bail?
اوس د تا تو سي تا وکیل څه وایي؟
No objection to the non-monetary conditions of bail requested.
وایي زه کوم ممانعت په دې کې نه لرم چې وایي تا ته هغه وکړي چې په څومره پیسو باندې مثلا ته باید د دې چې نه نوځې.
I am asking that a signature bond be ordered in this case.
یعنی امضا کوي بیا یعنی په هغه باندې وځي له دې چې نه.
As indicated, Mr. Mashwani has no criminal record and he does have a local address.
وایي ادرس هم لري یعنی د سند سره ښار هغه سي ادرس هم لري وایي یعنی کولی سي چې یعنی بل ښار ته نه ځي دوی همیشه د دې نه ډارېږي چې یو نفر ونه تښتي یو جنه.
The allegations against Mr. Mashwani in the complaint are significantly less serious than those of the co-defendant.
د هغومره شکایتونه چې سوي دي ځکه دوه نفره دي فکر کوم هم د تا هم د کوم بل چا شکایتونه دي تا شکایتونه وایي کم دي نظر یې بل هغه ته.
And my understanding is the alleged victim resides out of state at this time.
یعنی د ښځه چې ده اوس وایي out of state ده یعنی په دې ښار کې نه اوسي.
So I think any concern about safety is minimal.
یعنی د سیفتي په خاطر باندې هیڅ کوم مشکل نشته هغه دلته نه اوسي.
So I think a signature bond is appropriate. Thank you.
هغه باندې چې ورته ویلي هغه کې پیسې ته نه ورکوي فقط همداسې محکمه هغه کوي تا باسي چې اوس هغه درکوي قاضي که نه.
All right, well, my reading of the complaint suggests that Mr. Mashwani is less involved than the co-defendant.
فکر کوم په دې تا په قضیه کې دوه نفر هغه دي یو ته یو بل نفر ده وایي د تا هغه په دې کیس کې یعنی د تا هغه محدود ده یعنی تا دومره ډېر هغه نه ده کړی په دې کیس کې.
That said, he's arguably party to the crime of a kidnapping.
تنها یو شی چې همغسې له بل ښاره دې راوستلی ده یا هغه کړی ده یو همدغه هغه د تا ده.
Or an accessory after the fact.
یعنی ملاس دې پکې درلوده.
It's an extremely serious charge. It's not your run-of-the-mill false imprisonment charge.
وایي ډېر جدي ده یعنی د خبره ډېره جدي ده د هغه ده.
It is significant that he doesn't have any prior criminal record, and I'll take that into account.
صحیح ده چې په ګذشته کې وایي کوم هغه نه لري کوم جرم یې نه ده کړی وایي زه به دغه په نظر کې ونیسم.
I also think it's important to take into account his ties to the area.
وایي دغه هم په هغه فکر هغه کې نیسم چې هغه مثلا اوس په دې ښار کې نشته.
That said, I see it as a cash bail case, but a lesser amount I think is sufficient. I'll set it at $2,000.
هغه پیسې کمې کړلې اوس یې $2,000 ته کړلې چې په هغه باندې بیا ته په ضمانت باندې کولی شي ووځې له زندان نه.
I'll order the no contact direct or indirect with Palwasha L and any member of her family.
د پلوشه او د فامیل سره وایي ته اجازه نه لرې چې په تماس کې اوسې.
What about time limits?
Not waived.
دوی نه پوښتنه وکړه چې یعنې څومره وخت هغه ده وایي.
Okay, we are adjourned on Mr. Mashwani's case, and Ms. Momendi, we need you for the co-defendant's case, so just stick around.
Okay.
Mr. Mashwani?
د تاسو قضیه خلاصه سوه اوس
Then it appears that our Japanese interpreter has just logged in. Okay, we can do MAKOTO KURODA next.
Your Honor, here is a Japanese interpreter.
All right, I think we're going to try to do that case next.
Okay. Excuse me.
And while we're waiting for them, it's hard to read the names. Our TV screen's quite a ways away. Can you just state and spell your name so our court reporter can take that down? And that's to the Japanese interpreter?
Yes, I am a Japanese interpreter, Chieko Molnar. First name Chieko, and last name Millard. Shall we do the swearing in?
Sure, we could do that now. If you'd raise your right hand, do you swear or affirm that you will truly, accurately, completely, and impartially interpret the proceedings?
Yes, I do.
All right. We will call the state of Wisconsin versus MAKOTO KURODA.
誠黒田さんですね。これはウィスコンシンでの公判です。
That's case 26CF839.
今、順番がありましたけれども、
Could we get the appearances?
あなたがいるということを証言してください。
He stated here by Assistant District Attorney Thomas Valeriano.
あなたも、宣誓をする必要があるそうです。
Mr. Kuroda appears in person and with attorney Sean O'Connell.
はい。私は、黒田さんの弁護人のショーン・オカノと言います。
We've received a copy of the criminal complaint. Waive its reading at this time.
これは、黒田さんに対して苦情が上申されましたので、それについての話し合いです。
Manitowoc. I believe the address on Manitowoc Parkway is correct.
住所はマウントパークウェイの住所で合っているそうです。
And I do not have information about his eligibility for representation through the public defender's office.
そして彼が公選弁護人を受ける資格があるかどうかの許可はまだ下りていません。
Right, and Mr. Kuroda, the deputy has given you the public defender contact information.
今、パブリックディフェンダー、公選弁護人の申し込み書の情報をお渡ししました。
If you cannot hire an attorney on your own, you should give them a call to see if you're eligible for one.
もしも自分で、弁護士が雇えないようでしたら、その番号があると思いますから、そこにお電話して、そして、無料で弁護人を与えてもらえるかどうかを問い合わせてください。
And Attorney O'Connell is an experienced attorney. He's going to assist you today.
ただ、岡野さんは経験の豊かな弁護士さんですから、今日はあなたの弁護人としてついてくださいます。
I'll make findings of probable cause.
そして、およその原因としては、
The public safety assessment report recommends a signature bond.
パブリックセーフティーの方では、署名がいないとボンドが取れないそうなんですけど、does he have the paper in front of him?
Attorney O'Connell should have a copy of that.
じゃあ、岡野さん、please show him that the bond paper so he can see it.
Which paper?
Bond. Your judge said that he needs to sign with his name on it for the bond.
No, I indicated that there's a public safety assessment tool that recommends a signature bond.
そのボンドにサインをした方が周りの安全のためにもいいんではないかと思います。
I haven't decided what the bond will be yet.
はい。ただし、ボンドがどのくらいになるかはまだわかりません。
And we'll see what the state's position on bail is.
はい。それで、この内容が展開されてから、どのような状況であるかの確認をしたいと思います。
Recommending the $5,000 cash bond in this case.
Excuse me, Your Honor, I couldn't hear him well.
I'm recommending a $5,000 cash bond in this case.
私は、ウィスコンシン州の人間として$5,000をボンドで請求したいと思います。
For conditions of bond, I'm recommending that Mr. Kuroda have no contact with TM.
TM。それで、TM さんとは、コンタクトを取らないということですね、黒田さんが。
And that Mr. Kuroda be banned from the UW campus as that's exhibited in the ban map.
そして、今からベールの話をしたいと思います。
I would also ask that the defendant be banned from all UW laboratories.
それから、彼の運転に関する記録書をすべていただきたい。
And I would also ask that the defendant be required to surrender his passport.
そして、パスポートをこちらに提出していただきたいと思います。
I think it's fair to say that this case is rather unusual. We don't come across this kind of case often.
Could you please repeat what you just said?
I think we can all agree that this case is unusual. We do not come across this type of case that often.
それで、このようなケースはあまり発生しませんので、割と少数なものです。
As it's alleged in the criminal complaint,
そして、それは犯罪上の告訴ですけれども、
Mr. Kuroda admits to putting chemicals into the water bottle that belonged to the victim.
Excuse me, I couldn't get the name of the warm bar?
Water bottle.
Oh, water bottle. Okay. Hey, so please repeat what you just said. Water bottle.
This case involves Mr. Kuroda admitting to putting various chemical substances inside a water bottle that belonged to the victim.
この件は黒田さんがどなたかのウォーターボトルに、いろいろな薬物を投入したということであります。
My understanding is that the water bottle involved in this case was sent to the hygiene lab for testing.
これはウォーターボトルの方は衛生のために内容を確認してテストをいたします。
On page 3 of the criminal complaint, it is indicated that preliminary results were received from the lab.
I'm sorry, I couldn't get the last word, please.
The last word was words were from the lab, from the laboratory.
まだラボからの連絡が来ていませんということですが。
According to the criminal complaint, the water bottle tested presumptively positive for chloroform.
告訴の内容は、その中、ウォーターボトルの中にクロロフォルムが入っていたということです。
The sample of chloroform, as it's mentioned in the complaint, was high.
そして、クロロフォルムが入っているこということは分かりましたけれども、どのようにしてクロロフォルムがウォーターボトルに入ったのか、それが分かりません。
The sample was so high that the test strips were not able to report an accurate value.
それで、正確な投入量としてはどの程度かということはまだ分かっていません。
This was concerning because chloroform dissipates over time, and a high sample now likely meant an even higher sample before in time.
で、大抵の場合、この 4.5 という数値以上のものが入っていることが多いので、それが懸念であります。
It's alleged that Mr. Kuroda took steps to plan out how he was going to do this.
I'm sorry, would you repeat what you just said?
It's alleged that Mr. Kuroda took
Yes.
steps to plan out how he was going to do this.
Working alone. そして、黒田さんは、この薬剤をウォーターボトルに入れる準備をしてあったと。
On page 6, you'll see how it's alleged that Mr. Kuroda used Chat GPT to assist him with figuring out what a harmful amount of the chemical use would be.
そして6番のよりますと、黒田さんに対する、告訴の内容は、チャット GPT で、ヘルプを得て、そしてクロロホルムをどのぐらい入れるかということを覚えたそうです。
And then furthermore, in the middle of page 5 of the criminal complaint, you can see the actual steps Mr. Kuroda took in order to actually place the substance into the victim's water bottle.
そして、黒田さんは、そのクロロフォルムを水筒の中に入れたということが制限されています。
I don't believe this is reflected in the criminal complaint. However, Mr. Kuroda did tell law enforcement that he was a foreign national from Japan and that he was in the United States on a work visa.
そして、これは犯罪上の告訴ではありますけれども、警察側には彼は、日本人であって仕事で、こちらに来ているということでした。
Mr. Kuroda has no criminal history as far as I am aware.
で、私が知る限り、彼には犯罪歴はありません。
But this is still an Act 3 eligible offense.
Pardon me?
This is still an Act 3 eligible offense.
ただし、これは今でもちゃんと認められている犯罪ということです。
Because of the fact that Mr. Kuroda worked closely with the alleged victim in this case.
で、黒田さんはこのいわゆる犠牲者とされた方と割と婚姻な関係にあったようですから。
I think that a form of protection in the form of cash bail is warranted.
I'm sorry, after the full protection, what did you say, please?
I said, I think that protection in the form of cash bail is warranted.
そして、今後の保護のために財罰を受けることが必要かと思います。
I also think that cash bail is needed given the relative lack of ties to the community.
そして必要であれば何かちゃんとした罪のキャッシュばかりでなく必要かと思います。
Thank you.
はい、以上です。
Great. And Attorney O'Connell.
はい、じゃあハーンさん。
No objection to the non-monetary conditions.
必要な財罰については、これは私の方では依存はありません。
I am asking for a signature bond consistent with the public safety assessment.
そして、一般的な安全のために、ボンドにはシグネチャーを入れてもらった方がいいと思います。
The complaint indicates that Mr. Kuroda essentially gave a confession and described the amount of substance and what substance he used.
そして、告訴によれば、クロロフォルムをどのくらい入れたか、そういうことを黒田さんが口にしているようなんです。
The amount he used, he described it as well below the actual lethal amount needed to cause an overdose of someone.
そして、オーバードースがなんか起こりそうな、あるいは死に至るような量には達していないということでした。
He did cooperate with law enforcement.
警察とはちゃんと協力いたしまして。
And made no attempts to otherwise flee or avoid authorities.
警察の方から逃げようとか、逃げようというような意図がはありませんでした。
I think that demonstrates that he is not a flight risk.
ですから、彼は、フライトのリスクはないと思います。
I think the requested conditions are sufficient to ensure safety of TM.
そして、TM さんの安全性を確保するために、検察の方で言ったリクエストが正しいと思います。
And cash is unnecessary. Thank you.
そして、お金も、金額も必要だと思います。
Right, and any response from the state?
はい、検察側は応答ありますか？
I agree that Mr. Kuroda gave a statement to law enforcement and it was a full confession as far as I can tell.
私としても、黒田さんは警察には協力的に犯罪を述べて、すべてのことを告白したとみなしています。
While the full results from the hygiene lab, I believe are pending, the preliminary results at least speak to how dangerous this incident was.
I'm sorry, I couldn't get the last phrase.
The preliminary results at least speak to how dangerous this incident was.
This was dangerous? Okay.
Yes.
I appreciate if you can speak a little bit more clearly for me. Thank you. 事前の調査によって、それは大丈夫だ、AGT の方は大丈夫だと言われているようです。
Given the specific steps that Mr. Kuroda conducted in order to carry out this incident,
このエリアのオフィスでの、事件に関しては、
against a specific employee that he has worked with for several years according to the complaint.
もうすでに何年もその会社で働いている社員の人を相手にしていたと。
I think that cash bail is appropriate to protect not only the public, but this specific victim.
ですから、これは罪に相当すると思います。
All right, the charges are extremely serious.
言われている告発の内容は非常に危ない、危険なものであります。
The complaint asserts that Mr. Kuroda purposely put, I guess, a chloroform type substance in a coworker's bottle of water.
内容は、黒田さんがその同僚のウォーターボトルにクロロフォルムのような物質を投入したということですね。
That's a substance which Mr. Kuroda admits in sufficient quantities can be lethal.
そして、この投入したものというのは、もしも大量であれば、それが死に至るというものであることを黒田さんは知っていました。
He apparently wasn't an expert in how much could be lethal and how much is enough to make somebody sick that he looked it up on ChatGPT.
ただし、この致死量がどのくらいであるかということは知らない状態でありまして、ちょっと気持ちが悪くなるような、そのぐらいの量をということをチャット GPT で覚えたようです。
That's all incredibly concerning.
それで非常に危険ですね。
It'll, I guess, be a trial issue as to whether he was aware that he had risked great bodily harm or death to the victim.
ですから、トライアルとしては、黒田さんは、その相手に対して死ぬかもしれない、あるいは非常に障害に至るかもしれないということをわきまえていたと申し上げます。
Obviously, the state's not required to accept his assertion that he provided only a dose that would not be lethal.
そして、黒田さんとしては、その致死量に至らない量を使ったということでしたが、それは別に検察の方で認めなくても結構です。
But it is fair to acknowledge the state hasn't charged him with attempted homicide, so they don't believe he intended to kill the victim.
ただし、 殺人の疑いがあるということでしたけれども、本人、黒田さんは、相手が死んでしまうということはないと思ったようです。殺すつもりではありませんでした。
But again, very dangerous conduct, which he admits he engaged in.
ただし、彼が行おうとした行動は非常に危険なものであります。
Certainly makes the who committed the offense issue much easier for the state to prove.
そして誰がそういった犯罪のようなことをしようとしたかは、州としてはごく簡単に決めることができます。
But I think Attorney O'Connell makes a valid point that the fact that he confessed and was still around in the area suggests maybe he's more likely to stay in the area and not flee the jurisdiction.
ただし、まだ彼は今までいたところにいますので、そういう意味では、ここから事件現場から逃走しようとか、逃亡しようとかいう意図はないと思います。
That said, I assume one of his significant ties to the area has been severed by virtue of the conduct at his employers.
そして、この事件により、周りの人、あるいは会社の同僚の皆さんとの関係は非常にダメージを受けたということです。
He also apparently has ties to other countries.
それから、海外のともコミュニケーションがあります。
Count 1 is also an Act 3 eligible offense, so protection of the public is a factor in setting cash bail.
キャッシュベールとともに、その周りの方の安全のためという罪をしっかり課す必要があります。
Unfortunately, I don't have the ability to make a referral to pretrial services for GPS to ensure that he doesn't go back to his employer or have contact with the victim in this incident.
それで、私としてはその GPS に行かないようにというふうなことをさせる手段がありません。
Given the serious nature of the allegations, I think some cash is warranted to protect this particular victim.
そして、非常に危険な罪なので、相手の方の迷惑も考えて、金銭を罰金として取ることも必要だと思います。
It's also appropriate to take into account he's in his 40s and has no prior criminal record.
彼は、40代であって、その以前に、犯罪歴がないということもわきまえていたいと思います。
I think it needs to be a substantial enough amount of bail that Mr. Kuroda would not want to forfeit it by having contact with the victim or violating conditions of bail.
そして、黒田さんが毎日でも犠牲者にまたコンタクトをするようなことがないように、十分な額の罰金を課したいと思います。
I generally think that relatively small amounts of cash bail don't serve that purpose.
で、あまり小さいな金額では、罪の報酬に当たらないと思います。
So I think the state's request takes into account the things in his favor and the things that are not.
ですから、ここで、ウィスコンシン州としては、彼の方に都合が良いか、あるいは悪いか、そのどちらかを決めることが大切です。
I think the $5,000 is the least amount necessary to protect the public, and I'll set that.
そして、皆さん、周りの皆さんや世界の皆さんのために罰金として考えるのは、まず$5,000以上ぐらいではないかと思います。
I'll order that he surrender his passport prior to being released from custody.
そして、今の東国の状況から釈放される前に日本からのパスポートをやっぱり提出してください。
And that he have no contact, direct or indirect, with TM.
そして、その犠牲者だった TM さんとは一切接触しない。
He be banned from the UW-Madison campus per the ban map to include all UW laboratories.
そして、黒田さんは EW のラボからは全く、ラボには全く入ることができないと。
He would be entitled to a preliminary hearing within 10 days.
今から10日後に、公判前の準備トライアルを受ける資格があります。
Do you wish to have that set within the 10-day time limit?
あなたはその10日間以内にそのプリトライアルをしてもらうということを望みますか？
Yes, and then I have one other issue.
はい。そしてもう一つ、こちらから言いたいことがあります。
Go ahead.
どうぞ。
You ordered that he surrender his passport prior to being released from custody.
はい。そして、彼は、釈放される前にパスポートの必要が必要だということですが。
I'm concerned about his ability to comply with that.
それはちょっとできるかどうか考えなくてはいけない。実践的かどうかを考えたいと思います。
So I'm asking that the condition be that he surrender it by 10 a.m. the morning after his release if he does post.
それでは、彼が釈放された翌日の午前10時までにパスポートを提出するというふうな形にできるでしょうか。
Right. Any objection?
No.
ありません。
All right, I'll modify that condition to require that he provide the Dane County Clerk of Court his passport no later than 10 a.m. on the business day following his release from custody.
私としては、その内容をちょっと修正して、刑務所からの釈放されたその翌日の朝午前10時までにパスポートを届け出るということにしたいと思います。
If there's nothing else, we'll be adjourned.
では、それで全てならば、これで今回は閉廷します。
Right, and thank you, Madam Interpreter.
My pleasure, sir.
Next up is ZAKIERULLAH TALASH.
Your Honor, I need to hear that I am dismissed now that this is.
Yes, you are dismissed. We're adjourned, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
And then I believe we're doing the other case for the Dari Pashto interpreter next.
Yes, Your Honor.
Great, we will go on the record in the state of Wisconsin versus ZAKIERULLAH TALASH.
ورور دي تاسو قضیه برته شروع کړله.
څنګه خورې؟
دي تاسو کیسه هغې ویلې. دي تاسو قضیه وسوي.
سمه.
All right,
Sounds
and
good.
we have Dari Pashto interpreter, Ms. Momendi, and she's been sworn for our hearings at the jail this afternoon.
و دوی همیشه ترجمان ته قسم ورکوي چې یعنې ترجماني لپاره.
Could we get the appearances?
اوس د وکیلان باید ځان معرفي کړي.
The state appears by Assistant District Attorney Thomas Valeria.
ده هم څارنوال د محکمې ده.
Mr. Talash appears in person and with attorney Sean O'Connell.
او تاسو هم وای حضوري حاضر یې او شان هم د تاسو وکیل د تاسو نه دفاع کوي.
We have a copy of the complaint, waive its reading.
یو موږ وایي کاپي د شکایت سلطانه سوی د وای دغه لرو.
The address is correct.
آدرس هم په دې کې وای درست ده.
Okay. Stomach.
Sounds good, Your Honor.
And Mr. Talash, I believe, is eligible for representation through the Public Defender's Office.
او تاسو وایاغي يعني تاسو ته مفت وکیل درکې سیغه ته public defender وایي.
All right, so why don't we give him the
Well,
public
what if-
defender info so he can give them a call and find out who his lawyer is going to be after today.
تاسو ته یو ټلیفون نمبر درکې سی وایي مفت وکیلان دی هغه ته public defender وایي. تا ته یو ټلیفون نمبر درکې بیا وایي زنګ ور ووایي چې هغه وکیل چې تا وکیل مشخص کوم یو ده.
And
Some.
Mr. Talash, just so you're aware, it's probably not advisable to say anything about the facts of the case here.
د محکمې یعنی د تا د خپل قضیې په باره کې وایي موږ ته معلومات اوس مه راکوه چون وکیل د تا نسته.
Anything you say is going to be recorded and could be used against you later on.
چون هر شی چې ته ووایې نن چون وکیل د نسته بیا دوی کولی سي چې تا خبرې بیرته یې تا په ضد باندې استفاده کړي.
And you have an experienced attorney who's going to assist you, and if you need to talk with him privately at some point, we can arrange that.
چون وکیل سته د تا خپل وکیل مقصد چې ته پوسې چې څوک ده د هغه سره بیا وغږېږه وایي هغه د هغه ته ووایه. Sounds good.
All right, I'll make a finding of probable cause and we'll address bail.
اوس نو وایي ستوري ضمانت چې هغه ته بیل وایي چې څومره تاسو ته هغه کوي چې د دې جناح هغه سي زندان نه وځي. Sounds good, Your Honor.
The state is recommending a $10,000 cash fine in this case.
تا ته 10,000 روپۍ هغه کړلې چې اوس څومره دوی هغه کوي.
I'm asking that the defendant have no contact with Awasha L or any of her family members.
د پلوشي سره او د فامیل سره یې وایي په تماس کې اجازه نه لري.
We touched briefly about the facts of this case with Mr. Mashwani's initial appearance.
چون تر اوسه هغه مشواني صاحب کنه هغه هم و هغه سره موږیدل.
I wanted to just highlight here that it's alleged that Mr. Talash takes the victim in this case out of state.
تاسو وایي هغه دغه victim یعنی هغه ته وایي همدغه ښځې چې نوم یې ویلې تر اوسه ده وایي تا هغه کړې ده له یو state نه بل ته وړې ده.
It's alleged that Mr. Talash took the victim to the state of Maryland on the way to Washington, D.C.
د میریلند واشنگټن ډي سي ته دې بولې ده.
And that they eventually made it back to the state of Ohio where they stopped in Akron, Ohio.
بیا نو اکرن اوهایو ته بیرته راغلی.
I think the cash bail request fairly, I'll also say that Mr. Talash has no criminal history that I am aware of.
تاسو هم وایي په گذشته کې یعنی د تاسو ریکارډ پاک ده کوم جرم دې نه ده کړی.
But again, this is an act-free eligible case.
او دا هغه ده یعنی تاسو ته کولی سي چې دوی مفت وکیل درکړي.
It's alleged that Mr. Talash effectively took the victim across multiple state lines in order to hold her captive and plan to take her further to that.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? I'm kind of having a hard, yeah, sorry about that.
Sorry about that. It's alleged that Mr. Talash took the victim in this case across multiple state lines in order to hold her captive and plans to take her further than that.
دا وایي تاسو یعنی د ښځه همدغه ښځې چې هر څوک ده ولوشه دا وایي تاسو چې یو سټیټ نه د بل ته بولې له بل نه بل ته بولې د دې لپاره چې یعنې په یو حساب بندي غوندې.
It's also my understanding that Mr. Talash lives in the state of Ohio.
ته وایي خپله په اوهایو کې ژوند کوې.
And I'm concerned about his ties to the community here. So I think cash is appropriate.
یعنی همدغه کاش چې څومره نقد پیسې تعینوي اوس معلومیږي دوی خو 10,000 ویلې خو چې څومره درکوي چې ته په هغه باندې بیا ووځې له دې جنه. Sounds good.
Right, and the defense.
اوس د تا له وکیل نه پوښتنه کوي.
No objection to the non-monetary conditions requested.
ويز کومامانیت په دې کې نه لرم نان مانیټریس یعنی امکان لري چې پیسې ورنکې ولې دوی همداسې یو اندازه پیسې تعینوي بیا تا باسي له هغه نه. Sounds good.
I am asking for less cash than what the state is asking for.
دومره وایي چې تاسو ویلي د زیاتې دي یعنی کمې وایي تعین کوي.
The co-defendant received cash bail in the amount of $2,000.
چون هغه بل شخص دی چې تر اوسه هغه سوی هغه ته 2000 روپۍ تعین کړلې چې له دې نه ووځي.
I think something in the amount closer to the 2,000 is appropriate.
وایي که 2000 روپۍ ده ته هم تعین کوي ښه به وي چون د پیسې بیا بېرته درکوي د مقصد د ضمانت په حساب اخلي سپال د جې وباسي.
Thank you. Nothing further.
نور وایي چې نه لرم.
All right. Well, it's fair to note that he doesn't have any prior criminal record.
وایي یعنی ته هېڅ کوم هغه نه لرې سابقه د جرم نه لرې.
These are serious charges.
ولی د شیانو باندې چې اوس ته متهم سوی دی وایي ډېر سیریس یعنی جدي دی ډېر.
Quite frankly, there's probably always the possibility that he'd get charged in other states or federally.
یعنی د ډېر جدي هغه دي او په نورو سټیټو کې هم یعنی امکان لري چې ته هغه څه ووایي.
What is basically alleged is a kidnapping.
کیدناپینګ چې یو څوک یعنی هغه کوي بدون د اجازې نه وړلي هغه کوي.
I see Mr. Talash in a very different position than the co-defendant.
تاسو یعنی د یعنی اختطاف دې کړی په یو حساب نه د تاسو جرم یعنی له بل شخص کده زیاتر ده.
His involvement is much more aggravated than the co-defendant.
تر اوسه هغه چې تیر سو د هغه نه یعنی د تا هغه زیاتر ده.
He also doesn't have the ties that the co-defendant had to the state.
هغه هغه چې تا د په دې کیس کې درلوده یعنی هغه نه درلوده.
But I think the $10,000 is necessary to protect the victim and assure appearance in court, and I'll order that.
نظر د تا روابط و هغه ته د قضیې و هغه ته و همدغه 10,000 روپۍ چې هغوی تعین کړي دي و فکر کوم چې ده به یعنې ښیي ښه اندازه ده.
I'll order a no contact direct or indirect with Palwasha L or her family.
د پلوشي سره او د فامیل سره یې وایي ته حق نه لرې چې په تماس کې سې یا وغږېږې.
And should we schedule a timely preliminary hearing?
اوس یو بل تاریخ تاسو ته ږدي.
Yes.
Right. We will be adjourned, and thank you, Ms. Momendi.
Thank you, Judge. Do you want me to write down the next date?
That might be useful.
It'll be on the paperwork that's provided to all.
So if you could let him know that the next court date will be on his paperwork.
وروره دغه بل تاریخ د محکمې دغه ورقه چې اوس درکوي وایي په دې باندې بل تاریخ تا ته ږدي بیا په یو تاریخ باندې حتما تاسو باید حاضر سئ.
Right. We are adjourned.
او خبره خلاص شوې دي.
So you need to go with the bailiffs.
Next up is Eric Munoz Hernandez.
Right. Thank you, Madam Interpreter.
Thank you, Judge. You have a great day. Thank you.
You too.
Eric. Very much, Fred. Been practicing our consecutive supervision.
We're getting better at it.
Eric Munoz Hernandez is.
All right, we will go on the record in the state of Wisconsin versus Eric Munoz Hernandez.
Vamos a estar en el acta en el caso del estado de Wisconsin contra Eric Munoz Hernández.
That's case 26 CF 840.
Es el número del caso 26 CF 840.
Appearances.
Comparecencias.
The state appeared by assistant attorney Thomas Valerio.
El estado comparece por fiscal asistente Tomás Valerio.
Mr. Munoz Hernandez appears in person and with attorney Sean O'Connell.
El señor Munoz Hernández está presente con el abogado Sean O'Connell.
Are you still at Fish Hatchery Road?
¿Todavía vive usted en Fish Hatchery Road?
No,
No.
no, Fish Hatchery Road.
¿Es esta la dirección correcta para usted?
Sí.
Correct. Correct address.
The address on the complaint is correct,
La dirección en la denuncia es la dirección correcta
and he is eligible for representation through the Public Defender's Office.
y él está calificado para la representación del defensor público.
Right, and we have certified Spanish interpreter Fred Svensson.
Y también tenemos al intérprete certificado Fred Svensson.
Mr. Svensson, I'll swear you in.
Y el señor Svensson ahora va a prestar juramento.
Do you swear or affirm that you will truly, accurately, completely, and impartially interpret the proceedings?
Yes, I do. El intérprete acaba de prestar juramento que va a interpretar bien y correcto.
I'll make a finding of probable cause,
Voy a hacer una determinación de motivo fundado
and we'll hear the state's position on bail.
y vamos a escuchar la posición del Estado sobre la fianza de libertad.
Before I do, I have a statement from the victim that I'd like to read.
Y antes de que lo haga, tengo una declaración de la víctima que quisiera yo leer.
Victim wanted the court to know that she wants contact with Mr. Munoz Hernandez.
La víctima informa que quiere que la corte se entere que ella desea tener contacto con el señor Muñoz Hernández
And that she does not want him banned from their address as they have children together.
y que él no sea prohibido estar en la dirección donde vivan porque tienen hijos juntos.
Victim states that she knows an incident like this won't happen again.
La víctima indica que ella sabe que un incidente tal como este no va a volver a ocurrir.
And she states that if a no contact order is ordered, she will leave the residence and stay with friends so that the defendant can remain at the home.
Y si es que se imponga una orden prohibiendo contacto, ella saldrá de la residencia para vivir con otras amistades para dejar que el acusado siga viviendo en la dirección.
I have no objection to a signature bond in this case.
Yo no me opongo a una fianza de promesa en este caso.
I'm asking that the defendant have no contact with Ariani T.M.
Pero quiero pedir que no tenga contacto con Ariana T.M.
Record that's spelled Aryanny.
A-R-Y-A-N.
Is in Nancy.
I think the last letter might be
Ari.
So the probable
Entonces,
cause says
La porción-
Aryani.
bueno, la declaración de motivo fundado indica que el nombre es A-R-Y-A-N-I.
Then I propose that the defendant have no contact with ATM.
Entonces prefiero que se indique que el acusado no tenga contacto con la persona con iniciales A-T-M.
That the defendant be banned from the 2400 block of Fish Hatchery Road in Madison.
Y que el acusado sea prohibido estar en la cuadra 2400 en la Fish Hatchery Road en Madison.
That the defendant not use or possess any alcohol.
Y que el acusado no use ni posea alcohol.
This is still a felony level offense where it's alleged that the defendant punched ATM in the nose.
Esto todavía es una acusación de un delito grave donde se alega que el acusado le dio un puño en la nariz de ATM.
That strike was hard enough that it fractured ATM's nose.
Que ese golpe fue suficiente duro para quebrantar la nariz o fracturar la nariz de ATM.
And for what it's worth, this happened when ATM was holding their child, who was, I believe, under the age of 1 year old.
Y esto ocurrió mientras que la víctima estaba cargando al hijo común de ellos dos que tiene menos de 1 año de edad.
So I think that I'll also note that the victim in this case noted a prior had punched her in the past, but she never reported it to law enforcement.
Y la víctima había reportado que le había golpeado a ella una vez anteriormente en el pasado, pero esto no fue reportado a las autoridades.
And that's seen prior criminal history for Mr. Munoz Hernandez.
Y de parte del señor Muñoz Hernández no veo ningún antecedente penal.
So I think we can look at next, I think we can look at next program.
Dado los hechos, pienso que la orden prohibiendo contacto es adecuado.
Any objections?
¿Alguna oposición?
No objection to the signature bond or the condition of no alcohol.
Ninguna oposición a la fianza de promesa ni la condición de la prohibición del uso de alcohol.
I would ask that the condition be no acts or threats of violence against the alleged victim in the case.
Quisiera pedir que la condición sea que no cometa ningunos actos ni amenazas de violencia contra la víctima,
Consistent with what she is requesting from the court as well.
que es congruente con lo que ella ha solicitado de la corte también.
Nothing further, thank you.
Nada más, gracias.
All right, well, I'll order a signature bond and I'll order that he not possess or consume any alcohol.
Bueno, será ordenado una fianza de promesa y que no posee ni consume alcohol.
I'm gonna go along with the victim's wishes and order a no acts or threats of violence towards ATM.
Voy a seguir las recomendaciones de la víctima y una condición que no le haga ningunas amenazas ni actas de violencia.
However, there is still the 72-hour no contact until, I believe, 6:36 a.m. tomorrow.
Pero todavía hay una prohibición de tener contacto por 72 horas, algo que caduce o vence a las 6:36 de la mañana.
So you can't have any contact with ATM until after that time, or you're going to be subject to bail jumping charges and new criminal charges for violating the 72-hour no contact.
Así que usted estará prohibido tener contacto con ATM hasta ese tiempo, hasta esa hora, o si no, puede resultar en cargos por quebrantar las condiciones de su fianza, nuevos cargos por quebrantar las condiciones de la orden de protección de 72 horas.
And that's even if the victim reaches out to you.
Y es aún así si la víctima se comunica con usted.
Mr. Munoz Hernandez, do you understand that?
Señor Muñoz Hernández, ¿entiende usted esto? Correct.
What about time limits?
¿Qué tal,
Not waived.
¿Qué tal sobre los límites de tiempo? No los vamos a renunciar.
Great. We are adjourned.
Estamos concluidos.
Next up is Ariel Morales Toxtle. Think we can do this one simultaneously.
Oh, great.
Now we'll turn this over here. Toxtle?
Great. We will call the state of Wisconsin versus Ariel Morales Toxtle. It's 26 CF 835 appearances.
He state appears by assistant
El Estado,
district attorney
fiscal asistente Tomás Valerio.
Mr. Morales,
Señor Morales.
how do you say it?
Toxtle.
Toxtle. Mr. Morales Toxtle appears in
Señor
person
Toxtle comparece.
and with Attorney Sean O'Connell.
Sean O'Connell.
We've received a copy of the criminal
Recibir
complaint,
una copia de la denuncia criminal.
waive its reading,
Renunciamos que se lea.
and the address is
Y
correct.
la dirección es la dirección correcta.
And he is not eligible for representation through the Public Defender's Office at this time.
Right, sir, the deputy's giving you the public defender info.
Entregando la hoja de información.
You can always reapply with them, if you're not able to hire an attorney on your own. Or they could probably point you in the right direction to apply for a county appointed attorney, which is the middle option. If you're not able to hire an attorney, but you make too much money to qualify with a public defender.
abogado en particular o calificarse para el defensor público.
I'll note that we have certified Spanish interpreter Fred Svensson appearing. He's been sworn for our hearings at the jail this afternoon. I'll make a finding of probable cause.
De motivo fundado.
The public safety assessment report recommends the signature bond.
Seguridad Pública recomienda una fianza de promesa, volver a corte con condiciones.
State's position on bail.
La posición del Estado.
I have no objection to a signature
Una
bond.
posición a una fianza de promesa.
I would ask that the defendant not operate a motor
Que
vehicle,
no maneje el acusado algún vehículo,
may not use, possess any
que no
alcohol.
uso ni posea alcohol.
I would also ask that you refer to the criminal services for alcohol.
Que se refiere para el monitoreo de
At
servicios
least on the wait list, so that.
que esté en la lista de espera
Available for it.
para que si esté disponible el aparato que él se registre.
Right, and any objections?
¿Una oposición? No.
No.
All right, I just want to take a closer look at things.
Quiero tomar una mirada en la denuncia.
I have a last OWI was in 2004.
Esta verdad fue en el 2004.
I'm gonna decline to put him on the wait list.
Negaron ponerlo en la lista de espera.
I think the way things have been going, we're gonna have to get pretty critical about who we refer to pretrial services and not, so we're not constantly over capacity.
Sobrecapacitando al programa.
I'll order a signature bond. I'll order that you not operate a motor vehicle and that you not possess or consume any alcohol. What about time limits?
Están los límites de tiempo.
We can waive the time limits.
Podemos abandonar los límites de tiempo.
Okay, we are adjourned.
Estamos presentes.
Next up is Joseph Dixon. Thanks, brother. Thank you. Well, wait, there's more. Dixon?
Go on the record in the state of Wisconsin versus Joseph Dixon, 26 CF 838 appearances.
Joseph Dixon appears in person with attorney Sean O'Connell. We've received a copy of the criminal complaint, waive its reading. The address should be updated to 2220 Jackson Street in Stoughton. And he is eligible for representation through the Public Defender's Office.
Right, I'll make findings of probable cause. We'll get a not guilty plea entered to the misdemeanor. Think we may have a victim who wanted to make a statement. If we've got the victim on the Joseph Dixon case, they just need to unmute and let us know their thoughts or position on bail or bond conditions.
Yes, I'm here when available or when you need me.
Sure. Now's a good time if you wanted to make a statement as to what you want the court to order for bail or bond conditions.
I think that it would be best if he stayed away from the 600 and 700 block of Mayfair Avenue, where he and his companion have caused the most of the issues. They moved their vehicle between the two blocks to avoid parking tickets.
Okay, and anything else you wanted to say, ma'am?
I'm not sure how much we can say. It's we don't feel safe with him in the area or his companion.
Right, thank you. I guess since you wanted to remain anonymous, can we just identify you as a victim for our court reporter?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thanks. What's the state's position on bail?
I have no objection to the signature bond. I would ask that the defendant be from the 600 block of Mayfair Avenue, that the defendant have no contact with Officer N.S. Unless required, unless in his official capacity as law enforcement officer.
Any objections? And I think I'm probably inclined to order the 700 block as well, unless there's
No.
some legitimate reason to be there.
No objection. I was just gonna ask, I think it was requested 600, but the complaint says 700 block, so no objection to that.
Yeah, I
though.
think the state asked for the 600, but the victim, I thought, asked for the 600 to 700 blocks. So I'll order a ban from the 600 to 700 blocks of Mayfair and that you have no contact, direct or indirect, with Officer Ben S. except as needed in their duties as a law enforcement officer. And then what about time limits?
Not waived.
Okay, we are adjourned.
Right, next up is Yassine Assem.
All right, we'll go on the record in the state of Wisconsin versus Yassine Assem. It's 25 CF 2440 and 25 CF 2525 appearances.
State appeared by Assistant District Attorney Thomas Valeri.
Mr. Assem appears in person and with Attorney Sean O'Connell. We received a copy of the criminal complaints, waived the reading. He is eligible for representation through the Public Defender's Office. We are asking the address be updated to 615 East Washington Avenue in Madison.
Right, I'll make findings of probable cause in each of the cases and are not guilty pleas to the misdemeanors. The public safety assessment recommends a signature bond. State's position on bail.
In 25 CF 2525, I have no objection to the signature bond. I would ask that the defendant have no contact with David H. And then in 25 CF 2440, I would ask, I have no objection to the signature bond. I would ask that the defendant have no contact with David H. or any of David H's immediate family members. I would also ask in that case that the defendant be banned from any Walmart location, any eco ATM location, and that he be banned from any pawn store or resale store. I guess I'll just state out of the abundance of caution, looks like the victim in both of these cases asking for cash bail, and he's concerned that the defendant will not show up for future court dates. I'm standing by my their condition.
And just to be clear, it is the same David H. who's the victim in both cases. Got the same middle initial.
That's my
Is there a reason that if I order the no contact, I wouldn't do the no contact with immediate family in both cases?
I'm not aware of any problem with that, Commissioner. Yeah, I'm not aware of any problem with that.
Okay. Any objections?
No.
All right. So obviously the public safety assessment says that he has a pretty limited criminal history. He's never failed to appear in court. These aren't Act 3 eligible offenses where I can take into account protection of the public to order cash bail. I certainly understand the victim feeling that these types of financial crimes are a violation and affect people's sense of security. But I don't get to set cash bail to protect the public or punish at this point. I can only determine whether he's going to appear in court. I think the record and the history suggests he will. I'll order signature bonds in both cases. In both cases, I'll order that you have no contact, direct or indirect, with David H. or any of his immediate family members. And then in the case ending 2440, a ban from any Walmart locations, Echo ATM locations, and that you be banned from any pawn shop or resale shop who purchase items from the public for resale. The time limits for the preliminary hearing would be 20 days if he wants that enforced.
Yes, please.
Okay, we are adjourned.
Right this way. Next up is Vigil Brown. Vigil Brown.
Okay, we'll go on the record in the state of Wisconsin versus Virgil Brown III. It's 25 CM 2364 and 26 CF 837 appearances.
The state appears by Assistant District Attorney Thomas Valeri.
Mr. Brown appears in person with Attorney Sean O'Connell. We've received a copy of both the complaints, waive their reading. He is eligible for representation through the Public Defender's Office. His mailing address should be updated to 615 East Washington Avenue in Madison.
Right, I'll make findings of probable cause in each of the cases and are not guilty pleas to misdemeanors. State's position on bail.
Once. I have no objection to a signature bond in this case. I would ask that the defendant have no contact with child victim one. Their initials for record are, I believe it's EO. And then furthermore, I would ask that and not use or possess any alcohol, and that be banned from the St. Lynn area, which is Paraphernalia.
Is that for the felony case?
That is for the felony case. And then in 25 CM 2364. Sorry. I also have no objection to the signature bar in that case. I would ask that the defendant stand from the Walmart location, and then you have no contact with the co-defendant in that case, record that's Jasmine M. Patterson.
Any issues with the recommended bonds?
No.
Right, order signature bonds in each of the cases. In the felony case, order that you have no contact, direct or indirect, with DO. That you be banned from the State Street Langdon area ban map. The deputy's handing you that. Pay close attention to that. Everything inside that outline is off limits. All the cops know who's not supposed to be there, so you go there. It's probably going to be in short order before they arrest you and you're back here for new charges. Order that you not possess or consume any alcohol as well. And then in the misdemeanor order, signature bond, a ban from all Walmarts, and a no contact, direct or indirect, with Jasmine Patterson. What about time limits on the felony case?
Not waived.
Okay, we are adjourned.
All right this way. Next up is Shakur Williams.
Great, we'll call the state of Wisconsin versus Shakur Williams is 26 CM 830 appearances.
The state appeared by Assistant District Attorney Constable area.
Mr. Williams appears in person with Attorney Sean O'Connell. We received a copy of the criminal complaint. The address is correct. We waive its reading. He is eligible for representation through the Public Defender's Office.
I'll make a finding of probable cause and or not guilty plea to the charge, state's position on bail.
I have no objection to a signature bond. I would ask that the defendant not operate in review.
No objection.
Right, order a signature bond, condition will be that you not operate a motor vehicle at all, and we'll be adjourned.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. You're welcome. Thank you. I appreciate that. Next up is Jesse Vickers.
All right, we'll go on the record in the state of Wisconsin versus Jesse Pickards, 26 CF 841 appearances.
The state appeared by Assistant District Attorney Constable area.
Mr. Pickards appears in person and with Attorney Sean O'Connell. We've received a copy of the criminal complaint. Waive its reading. The address should be updated to 930 North Fair Oaks Avenue in Madison. And he is eligible for representation through the Public Defender's Office.
I'll make findings of probable cause, enter a not guilty plea to the misdemeanor. State's position on bail.
I have no objection to a signature bond in this case. I would ask that the defendant not use or possess any controlled substance or drug paraphernalia that are out.
No objection.
All right, we'll order a signature bond. Condition will be that you not use or possess any controlled substances or drug paraphernalia without a valid prescription. As to time limits,
Not waived.
okay, we are adjourned.
All right, speakers, right this way. Next up is Indian Howard. Howard.
Call the state of Wisconsin versus
Mr. Howard.
Andy and Howard. It's 25 CF 2707. We'll also call the county of Dane versus Andy and Howard, 26 FO 608. The appearances.
He stated here by Assistant District Attorney.
That's why
Cotswell.
we're late corrector to the job center. Okay. Mr. Howard appears in person with attorney Sean O'Connell. We've received a copy of the criminal complaint, waive its reading. The address should be updated to the job center, 1819 Aberg Avenue in Madison. Mr. Howard is eligible for representation through the public defender's office.
All right, I'll enter a not guilty plea in the forfeiture case. I'll find probable cause in the felony case, enter a not guilty plea to the misdemeanor. The public safety assessment recommends a signature bond. What's the state's position on bail?
I know that consisting of that to the defendant that you possess any controlled substance or drug paraphernalia without a valid prescription. And they have no contact with the co-defendant, Deshaun Webster.
No objection.
Okay, we'll order a signature bond. Conditions will be that you have no contact, direct or indirect, with the co-defendant, Deshaun Webster, and that you not use or possess any controlled substances or drug paraphernalia unless you have a valid prescription. What about time limits?
Not waived.
Okay, we are adjourned.
Thanks, right this way. Next up is David Hilgendorf. Hilgendorf?
Go on the record in the state of Wisconsin versus David Hilgendorf. It's 26 CF 846 appearances.
Stated here by Assistant District Attorney Cotswell.
Mr. Hildendorf appears in person and with attorney Sean O'Connell. We received a copy of the criminal complaint, waive its reading. The address is correct. He is eligible for representation through the public defender's office.
I'll make finding of probable cause and or not guilty plea to the misdemeanors, state's position on bail.
Recommending a $1,000 cash bond in this case. I'm asking that the defendant have no contact with ALH. It looks like this is Mr. Hilgendorf's third open case now. I see failures to appear on August 3rd, 2022, January 14th, 2025, February 20th, 2025, and November 21st, 2025. My understanding he had cash bails in all of those instances. They were forfeited and additional cash bail was instated and still continued to miss court. They also had bench warrants issued for pretrial service violations on September 15th, 2022 and July 26th, 2022. It's alleged in this case he's getting an act that is charged with felony bail jumping and misdemeanor bail jumping. So given the apparent risk history, the prior violations of bond, current violations of bond, and being cash is still good.
And the defense position.
I have one moment. All right, just talking to Mr. Hildendorf, he is objecting to the no contact with AS as requested. As far as cash, I understand the missed court appearances in the open cases, but at the end of the day, what we have here is what it sounds like an argument. Maybe something was thrown against a car. It's not particularly violent towards anyone, any individual, where they're in danger. I just don't think cash is necessary based on what the facts are in the complaint.
All right. Well, it looks like in one of his pending cases, he failed to show up a couple of weeks ago at most. He's lucky that the state didn't ask for a warrant at that particular point in time, but I think we're at the point where there's a need for cash bail given the history. I'll set $500, order a no contact direct or indirect with ALH. Does he want a preliminary hearing in the next 20 days?
Yes, please.
Okay, we are adjourned.
All right, so next up is Brandon Kelly for a bail bond hearing.
Right, we'll go on the record in the bail hearing for Brandon Lee Kelly. That's case 26 GF 37022 appearances.
He appears by Assistant District Attorney Thomas Valerio.
Mr. Kelly appears in person and with Attorney Sean O'Connell.
All right, and this was a must go under Rule 206, but we don't have criminal complaints. Do you have the PC affidavits? Probable cause, I believe, was found for disorderly conduct in one, and then a domestic battery, disorderly conduct, and false imprisonment as a domestic.
I don't have anything.
Okay, we can print that out for you. Do you have any info about a good mailing address for Mr. Kelly or whether he's eligible for an attorney?
Mr. Kelly is eligible for representation. Do you have a good address they can send mail to?
Oh, yeah.
Just say that.
61, matter of fact, what was my address? 2408 West Wiswall, Peoria, Illinois. I had to get a mail reroute up here. I'm in a homeless shelter right now because I just moved up here.
Okay, and if you want mail to go to one of the homeless shelters up here, we can do that too.
Okay.
Would you rather have it go to the address you gave? Okay, did you catch all that?
No.
Can you,
2408 West Wiswall, Peoria, Illinois.
Street name is Griswold.
Wiswall, WISWALL.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
all right, we were supposed to have a complaint here today. Attorney Valerio, what do you know about that?
I was approached by the Senate ADA, they asking that I asked you for an initial appearance date 30 days from today. That's the information I have for you.
Okay, well, we need to address bail. What's your position on bail?
I have no objection to the signature bond. I would ask that the defendant have a contact with DEM as in male or any of DEM's children. I would ask that the defendant have no contact with SJP.
All right, any objections?
Quick moment.
Sure. I think they've got the PC affidavits for you if you want to take a look at those.
SJPs. SJP.
Yes. Well, let me see.
And I got a clarification question because it brought me to the PC affidavits. Is it DIM or DEM? I had written down DEM.
I asked for DEM.
Okay,
It looks like for the follow contact date, it's still initial, it's like this is high.
Well. How about no contact with DM?
That's
Yeah,
like any difference to me, I just type whatever you want into the piece of paper.
Yeah, my.
and there's actually multiple DMs that are listed in the probable cause affidavit, but but I think one of those would qualify as one of her children, so. Any objection to the bond conditions?
I don't have an objection to the no contact of DM. I guess SJP, we've got the person's name. We still don't know who that is. I don't see them in the PC affidavits.
Right, and can you speak to that, Attorney Valerio, because I'm not sure that I saw that mentioned anywhere.
My reports are loading right now, just from what I can tell. Looks like we tagged them as a victim in this case, sorry.
It looks like maybe BDA would be a victim in the disorderly conduct, and then DEM is the victim, and or DIM is the victim in the other PC.
Right, I spoke to the assigned attorney specifically about, I believe you referenced BDA. They weren't seeking a specific no contact with BDA.
Attorney Valerio, we're gonna ask Attorney O'Connell if they want a copy of the probable cause affidavit. Would you like a copy of the probable cause affidavit?
Sure.
I can share. All right.
All right. To clarify your client's position, no objection to the no contact with DM or her children.
That's my daughter. Can I have the works?
I guess we would object to that. Mr. Kelly tells me that they have a daughter in common that he would like to be able to have contact with.
Okay.
I know they share, but their children common. Hold it. All right.
I don't have no objection.
So SJP appears to be at least a witness to what occurred.
Yeah, no comments. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, and Mr. Kelly doesn't have any reason to have contact with the individual SJP, so if the court wants to order it, we're not strongly opposed to that.
Yeah, and I just want to make sure I'm not missing an important condition, given what the victim with the initials BDA alleges and their desire in regards to contact in the PC affidavit.
All right. And then as far as the
Tell them we don't care. Oh, okay, I know who that is. Okay, that's my big sister.
That's your sister.
Yeah, no contest. That's fine too. I accept that. Okay. We might have a judge to make a give me no contact. I'm down the way too.
I was just checking to see if perhaps that particular PC affidavit was declined. I don't think that's the case.
I accept all my comments. So.
my understanding is that the children involved in this case are not Mr. Phelps' culprit. So as far as it pertains to, I think the specific bond request was no contact with DM's children. Hold on, one second.
That's fine. We don't have an objection to that.
Okay, I'll order a signature bond condition will be a no contact director and direct with DM or DM's children, no contact director and direct with SJP. And you're not requesting anything beyond that, is that correct? Okay, so do we have the date when we come back in about 30 days?
Right now, looking at May 18th, 8:30 is Monday morning.
Okay, we'll be adjourned.
Right this way. Next up is Kelly Protz. Kelly Protz.
Great, we'll go on the record in the state of Wisconsin versus Kelly Protz, it's 26 CM 829 appearances.
District on the school area.
Mr. Protz appears in person and with attorney Sean O'Connell. We received a copy of the criminal complaint, waive its reading, the address is correct. He is eligible for representation through the public defender's office.
All right, I'll make findings of probable cause and are not guilty pleas to the charges. The PSA report recommends cash bail. What's the state's position?
I actually never did call the signature bond in this case. I would ask that the defendant contact the pitbull A.
Any objections?
No.
Okay, order a signature bond condition will be a no contact direct or indirect with Nicole A and will be adjourned.
Right this way, sir. Next up is Percy James. Someone was filed related to a title, you might not have a copy of it.
I do not.
Shelter.
Go on the record in the state of Wisconsin versus Percy Kite. It's 26 CF 851 appearances.
Everybody get the defense copy.
Sure.
Actually, I can. You stay on screen for a second. I've got a copy of the complaint in front of me here from Kite. Okay, Mr. Kite. Not right now.
The state appears by assistant district attorney on the school area.
Mr. Kite appears in person with attorney Sean O'Connell. We received a copy of the criminal complaint. The address is correct. He is eligible for representation through the public defender's office.
Right. And what's the state's position on bail?
I'm recommending $5,000 cash bail in this case. For conditions, I'm asking that the defendant have a contact with Danielle and their first name is spelled DANIELLE. I would also ask that then be banned from Danielle and residence or any place she resides. My understanding is that Mr. Kite has no failures to appear. However, based off of the facts alleged in the criminal complaint, this was a pretty significantly solved by Mr. Kite, who's 30 years old, he has his 15-year-old, how it's described, girlfriend. It's a relatively strong case. There are multiple civilian witnesses for corroborating what happened. And it's alleged that Mr. Kite plans to destroy evidence by wiping where there's being victim's blood off the shoe after law enforcement noticed it. It's also my understanding that the victim breached at the knee that we're waiting results on. But it's a serious case. And we'll see this will be for trial is act available that the no strangulation supplication certainly is. And that's all the information I have to take you.
Okay, and Attorney O'Connell.
If I could have a brief moment.
Yeah, I'm in school and work. I got a chance, so you don't know when. You can see if I can search or buy something like this, so.
Exactly.
Specific windows, they should be presented.
No objection to the non-monetary conditions. I understand that the charges are eligible under Act 3 for cash to be ordered. But I haven't heard anything else that cash is necessary either to ensure Mr. Kight's appearance in court or to protect them. Obviously, I haven't had a chance to look at the complaint very closely, but it doesn't appear that this is an ongoing or repeat behavior or that he's going back to the residence or having contact with Danielle and after he's told not to. So I would ask for a signature bond. My understanding. It was not, no. Sure. Is that for Kelly?
Yes.
Ross? That's Kelly
Kelly
Ross.
You're looking for a complaint for the last person, Brandon Kelly?
Yeah, he didn't have a complaint.
Yeah.
It was a GF file. There's the PC affidavit.
My understanding is Mr. Kight's been in Dane County most of his life. He is working right now and attending school. So he's got strong ties to the community. So I'd ask for a signature bond.
All right, and any response from the state?
I think when we undergo an accurate analysis, I think it's important to order cash here. It's a case where, you know, they've been in a dating relationship that's alleged for 3 years. So obviously, Mr. Knight knows Danielle and very well. So I think there's a risk of intimidation, and just the level of violence that's described in this criminal complaint indicates that there needs to be some greater protection here in the form of cash pay.
Well, I don't know that you want to say anything, Mr. Kite, because it can all be used against you, and you got a very experienced attorney here. And you said there was no failures to appear. Does he have a prior criminal record?
My understanding is that a lot of it, I think, is line traffic and drug possessory related. So he's got like a drug paraphernalia conviction in 2016. It's not super relevant. And then I think the only other thing I saw was like a operating without carrying license ticket back in 2018. That's the only thing I've seen.
All right, and any response to any of that, Attorney O'Connell?
No.
All right, it's a nonviolent history. It's actually a relatively minimal criminal history. There's no failures to appear. The allegations are serious, but I think a signature bond is appropriate. I will order that, and you got to have absolutely no contact, direct or indirect, with Danielle M. Banned from her residence. Mr. Kite, if you don't follow that, you will have proven me wrong and them right, and then cash bail is probably in your future. So make sure that you abide by the bond conditions.
I have a question, Your Honor.
I can answer.
Oh,
I just wanted to let him talk first.
I'm sorry, I don't know how this works.
You're okay.
Thanks. I see it, maybe not gonna know now. So
No, you're gonna signature bond. So
what is that?
then you're gonna have to pay.
Should I say?
But you can't have contact with this victim or be at their residence, even if they reach out to you. If you do, that's a violation. That'll be a bail jump, and you'll be right back here. And I guarantee they're gonna ask for more than $5,000 cash bail. And it may be a likely cash bail case if we have to be back here for violations of the bond. Understood?
Understood,
All right.
No contact, right?
Yeah.
Text, nothing.
okay.
If we'd ask for a timely prelim.
Okay, we are adjourned.
Give me a piece of paper next.
So what do I do now?
You gotta sign your paperwork and they'll process and release you.
Next up is Yancy Wilson.
Yep.
Wilson?
Go on the record in the state of Wisconsin versus Yancey Wilson. It's 26 CM 825 appearances.
The state appeared by Assistant District Attorney Thomas Valerio.
Mr. Wilson appears in person and with Attorney Sean O'Connell. We've received a copy of the criminal complaint. Waive its reading. The address is correct. He is eligible for representation through the Public Defender's Office.
Right, I'll make findings of probable cause and are not guilty pleas to the charges. So I think he posted $150 cash bail, but it hasn't been received by the court yet, but what's the state's position on bail?
I have no objection to a signature bond. I would ask that the defendant have no contact with Kimberly M. And that the defendant be banned from the 1,000 block of Fair
All right, any objections?
No.
Okay, we'll order a signature bond. Conditions will be a no contact direct or indirect with Kimberly M, a ban from the 1,000 block of Mayfair Avenue. And they'll get the 150 returned to whoever posted that, and you should get released.
I got one question, Your Honor.
Okay, you don't want to talk about the facts of the case. So make sure you don't do that because it's being recorded, can be used against
I
you.
can still like my kids, I still like go to their school and talk to my kids every now and then.
We're not banning you from having contact with anybody other than Kimberly M and the 1,000 block of Mayfair. So if you're able to have contact with them, well, actually, the clerk's popping me up about some TROs, so maybe we ought to take a look at those.
What's TRLs?
Restraining orders.
Uh-oh.
I just didn't know if you wanted to give a different note.
Yeah, so I think you got served the TRO already. It is maybe a little bit broader than what I've ordered here. You got to avoid contacting the petitioner, causing any other person to have contact with the petitioner unless they consent in writing, and avoid any location temporarily occupied by the petitioner, and obviously not to commit any acts or threats of domestic abuse against the petitioner. So I guess I'm going to hesitate to give any legal advice. Attorney O'Connell maybe is willing to do that. But you got to make sure you're abiding by the TRO restraining order conditions, bail conditions here, or any other conditions that are out there that I may not be aware of. And if you're not in violation of any of those, to have contact with your kids or be at their school, then you can do that. Okay?
Yeah.
All right?
Right, Swift. Next up is Marquise Lovett. There you go. Yep. Marquise.
Go on the record in the state of Wisconsin versus Marquise Lovert. It's 26 CME 24 appearances.
The state appears by Assistant District Attorney Thomas Valero.
Mr. Lovett appears in person and with Attorney Sean O'Connell. We've received a copy of the complaint. We have its reading. The address is correct. And it appears that he is not eligible at this time for representation through the Public Defender's Office.
All right, so Mr. Lovert, if you can't hire an attorney after today, you could reapply with the Public Defender's Office, or if you're caught in the middle, you can apply for a county attorney. They've given you the public defender info. They could help you if you need to apply for a county attorney. I'll make findings of probable cause and are not guilty pleas to the charges. State's position on bail.
I have no objection to the signature bond. I would ask the defendant if I have no contact with the M for the first thing, so AQ5 and also. And I would ask the defendant to be banned from the 4700 block of Cottage Grove Road.
All right, any objections?
I could have a brief moment.
Yes. So we're saying. It's okay. And that she said she was gonna. So then she's come out of she gets out. So moving out. She said she doesn't. She said go to the following.
No objection to the no contact. And I would ask that instead of banning Mr. Lovert from that address, I would ask that it be a ban from any address that the alleged victim resides at. It's his understanding that she's actually moving out. He understands that if she is still there, he cannot be there. But if she does move out, it is a place in his name. He would like to return home if she's gone.
All right, any response from the state?
So the only information I have is that to make contact with the victim, inform them of the bail recommendations. They are in support of those bail recommendations. That includes the ban from the entire block. This might be a better conversation later on, when we take confirmation that if we ever get confirmation that the victim moved out, but right now, we think it's appropriate. They currently live there, victims in support of that.
All right, I think if this were the first case, maybe I'd be willing to do what he's asking for. He was already out on bail with conditions where he wasn't supposed to direct any acts or threats. So at this point, I'm gonna order that, because it adds a little bit extra protection just beyond the residents. If you find out that they move out, then you can have your attorney file a motion to get that condition modified. But I'll order the signature bond, so you're getting released. You can't have any contact with Akilah M. I will order the ban from the 4700 block Cottage Grove Road. Again, don't go back there unless you're in the presence of law enforcement, or if you're have a motion filed and the judge grants that to rescind that condition, then you could go back there after that. But until any of that happens, the only way you can have contact with that residence is in the presence of law enforcement to get items from the residents, okay?
Can I say something?
Sure.
Nothing further, thank you.
Yeah, so it's,
It
you
can be
can't be,
changed.
you can't be back at that residence unless the judge modifies the bail conditions. So if you find out that she's moved out and you want to be able to go back there, have your lawyer file a motion so you can have a hearing in front of the judge. But I'm ordering that because that seems consistent with the victim's wishes. And this is not the first case that involves this particular victim, so I'm not willing to make it a smaller area and say just a ban from a residence. So you can't go back to the 4700 block Cottage Grove Road unless you're in presence of law enforcement, okay?
Okay, so
Yep, and then you can always have your attorney file a motion to review the bail conditions, all right?
okay.
All right, we are adjourned.
Right this way. Next up is Tim Dorn.
Go on the record in the state of Wisconsin versus Timothy Dorn. It's 26 CM 823 appearances.
He stated here by Assistant District Attorney Thomas O'Leary.
Mr. Dorn appears in person and with attorney Sean O'Connell. We received a copy of the criminal complaint. Waive its reading. The address is correct. And I do not have information about eligibility at this time.
Okay, so Mr. Dorn, the deputy is going to be handing you a piece of paper. That's the public defender information. Make sure you give them a call if you can't hire an attorney on your own to see if you're eligible for an attorney at low or no expense to you. The middle option would be to apply for a county attorney if you can't hire an attorney on your own and you're not eligible through the public defender. We'll make a finding of probable cause, enter a not guilty plea, state's position on bail.
I have no objection to the signature line. I would ask that the defendant have a contact with IDS. And that the defendant began from any residence or building that IDS occupies, and that the defendant not use or possess any alcohol.
Yes. No objection.
Okay, we'll order a signature bond. Condition will be a no contact direct or indirect with Heidi S. A ban from any residence or area that Heidi S is temporarily occupying. And that you not possess or consume any alcohol, and we'll be adjourned.
Right this way, sir. This way. Next up is Randy Sowell.
Go on the record in the state of Wisconsin versus Randy Sowle. It's 26 CF
Mr. Sowle.
836 appearances.
The speaker by Assistant District Attorney Thomas Valerio.
Mr. Sowell appears in person and with Attorney Sean O'Connell. We've received a copy of the criminal complaint. The address is correct. At this time, Mr. Sowell is not eligible for representation through the Public Defender's Office.
Okay, they're gonna give you the public defender info. If you can't hire an attorney after today, you could reapply or you could apply for a county attorney and they can kind of point you in the right direction for that. All right? Yep, that's fine. If you're able to hire an attorney, go ahead and do that.
Yes, sir.
We'll make a finding of probable cause, state's position on bail.
I have no objection to the signature bond. I would ask that the defendant not operate a motor vehicle at all, do not use, possess any controlled substance or drug paraphernalia without a valid prescription, and that he not use, possess any alcohol.
Right,
No objection.
okay, so we'll order a signature bond. Condition will be that you not operate a motor vehicle at all, that you not possess or consume any alcohol at all, that you not use or possess controlled substances or drug paraphernalia without a valid prescription. And then as to time limits.
Scheduled in the next 20 days. Or if you want more time to get an attorney, you can ask for more time and wait. Time limits.
Speed it up, yeah. I'll get to it fast, I know. All right.
Time limit's not waived.
Thank you.
Okay, it's not gonna give you a lot of time to get a lawyer. Make sure you do whatever you need to have one, okay? All right, we are adjourned.
That is everyone.